Welcome back to the channel, guys. In today's video we've got a very important job to do. The N235i with this N55 engine has developed a little bit of an issue, so let me talk to you guys about what the problem is. So the problem actually lies at the back of the engine. It's a very common issue, and it is the rocker cover gasket or the valve cover gasket, whatever you want to call it. Now basically what happens usually in most cases on these cars, you will notice probably a little bit of smoke coming from the engine bay when you're driving, and this is the cause of the rocker cover gasket leaking oil at the back of the engine, and it drips on the downpipe on the exhaust, and obviously because the exhaust is hot, it forms a smoky smell that you can sometimes smell through the cabin and everything like that. Now it's a very common issue. It's not really something you can kind of really, I guess you could say, prevent. It will just happen on certain mileage. Unfortunately, it's now happened on my N55. Now there's two causes that this could be. One cause is the bolt at the back can actually become loose, and obviously when it becomes loose it forms a gap, the seal doesn't work correctly, and obviously oil can then escape. That's a very unlikely cause, but it can still happen. The main one is you will have to replace the actual seal because it gets old and it starts to leak. Worst case scenario is you actually have to change the whole rocker cover, which usually you'd have to do if there's some sort of PCV valve issues. But in my case, that's not what we're doing today. So stay tuned, because we're going to be changing the whole gasket. I'm going to be talking to you guys exactly how to do everything and going into detail of how to do this whole process to save yourself a lot of money than going to the actual dealer or a BM specialist and getting it done, which will cost you hundreds. So first things first, let's make sure we've got all the correct tools that we're going to need. Now it's very simple. You're just going to need basic tools for this. Ideally, some sort of socket set, a few spanners of any size. You're going to need some screwdrivers, maybe some pliers and all that kind of stuff, just your generic type of tools. And then you're also going to obviously do all the simple stuff, like removing your scuttle trays, removing the engine cover, and all that kind of very simple stuff. Then you will obviously have to get yourself a gasket. Now, I actually ordered this one. This is an OEM one, and basically it's just this rubber piece, and that's what we're going to be changing today. So very simple. This is the cheap alternative. Obviously the cheapest way is to do the bolt tightening, like I said. This is a slightly more expensive way, and obviously the rocker cover gasket, the whole thing, if you have to replace it, is the most expensive. So anyway, I'm going to make a start. Enjoy the time lapse of me removing some of these parts, and then I'll talk to you guys in a little bit. Just a quick little suggestion, guys. I would recommend you do this on an engine which has been sat probably overnight, just so all the oil and everything like that is drained to the bottom. Because if you're doing it when the engine's warm, for one, it's really hard to work on, and two, obviously all the rocker cover is going to be completely full of oil. If you just let things drain a little bit, it'll just make your life easier. So as you can see, I've just been removing some of these plastic parts. Obviously, like kind of all the rubber that goes on to like stop water and all that kind of stuff. Next thing we're going to do is remove this kind of strut brace. Pretty easy, just like you got your bolt there, you got the two in there and one over there. Just basically use your common sense in removing this kind of stuff, and then once we've done all that, it'll give us a lot more access to the back to get the rocker cover off, and then we can start with a bigger job of actually doing all of this. Little update for all of you guys. This breather hose is very, very prone to break, and as you can see, one of the clips did actually snap, which is very unfortunate. If this will focus on here now, you might be able to see it. So the rest of the other three are all okay. What I'm going to do for now is just leave it as it is. We'll see how it seals when I put it back, and if it doesn't seal right, then we will have to get a new one. But for now, so the car can be driving, there's 3 clips out of 4 that are all fine. So we'll check the seal. Obviously, if it's going to leak, then it's no good. That will have to be replaced. So a little bit of advice: if you're going to order the seal, I'd probably recommend ordering one of these as well, because they are very common to break. Next protocol, which will also be time-lapse for you guys to see, what we're going to do is remove all of the coil packs. So these are very simple. BMW designed these in a very clever way that you literally just pop them up like this, and then you've got a little finger hole that you can either put a screwdriver in or pull it up with your hand. So you want to remove all the coil packs. Once that is done, we can also disconnect the O2 leads. Now, you don't need to worry about getting these confused or mixed up, because they can only go back the way you took them apart. And then when that's done, we'll then move on to the fueling system, as well as removing this wiring loom all the way back. So I'm going to remove the coil packs and the O2 leads, and I'll be back once that's done. Next thing I'd advise you do is you want to use your Torx piece here to actually remove this bolt here, which is the holder for the O2 sensors. This way you can get coil pack number 5 out, and it just makes it a lot easier for getting the whole wiring loom off. Now another thing, you don't have to, but I have left these in the order I've taken them out. A little bit of advice and a question. Do you guys know why this coil pack looks, you know, different to the other ones? It kind of looks a little bit rusty, I'm not too sure. Let me know if you've seen that on your engine before. If you know what it is, please leave it in the comments. So now we've removed all of the coil packs. We've also removed this sensor here, which I think that's for some sort of Vanos solenoid. I'm not too sure, but I'm pretty sure that's what it is. There's no need to actually undo it from this just yet. Now, next thing we're going to do is move on to the rest of the wires and the fueling. So one thing I'd say for the fueling is, when you undo the first section of it, it is going to be under pressure. So what I'd advise you do is have some sort of rag ready to catch the fuel, and also watch your eyes, because it's under pressure, it can spray. Once you've removed all of these fueling pieces, it'll give you a lot more access to things. You'll also want to remove little ground wires like this. This will help you to be able to move the whole wiring loom away from the engine. You've also got to undo small little Torx pieces like this, which hold down the actual holder for the wiring loom. So I'm going to crack on with that now. Enjoy the rest of the time lapse. Alright, so as you can see, we've now removed the fuel rail, and the whole wiring loom is almost loose. Just got to disconnect them off the actual injectors themselves. One very important thing you want to make sure of now is that no debris gets in any of the fuel system. So you want to be exceptionally careful of here, and more importantly, the top of these injectors. If it will focus on here now, you'll be able to see. I'm going to somehow find something to cover these, because if any debris gets in those, then it could clog up the injector, cause misfires, and be a big issue. So just make sure you take your time and you're super clean and thorough with everything. Little thing though, if you are enjoying the video so far, or you're finding it informative in some way, then please consider giving it a thumbs up. Also subscribe to the channel to see more content on the N55 platform and the M235i. Apart from that, let's get back to the video. Now you can see everything has been covered. Nothing is going to get in the fuel situation either. One thing, just a little tip, make sure you keep your spark plugs in, because for whatever reason, if you do take them out, if you drop any nuts or bits of debris down into the cylinders, you're pretty much stuffed. So just a little tip there. Now, as you can see, it's looking way cleaner to actually take this off. So what we're going to start to do now is just remove a few little remaining little clips and stuff like that, and then we can actually start by undoing all of the bolts and then being able to lift the actual rocker cover off itself. There we go. Now that we've got all of those nuts and bolts loosened up, they don't actually come out all the way. They are fixed in, which is quite handy, so you can't lose any of them. So now the difficult part is breaking up all the old seal so that you can be able to lift the rocker cover gasket off. So I'm going to do that now. It will be part of the time lapse, so enjoy the rest. Okay, little check-in. Rocker cover is now off, and as you can see, we can see the engine. I'll show you more in detail the engine now. It's actually looking really good for the mileage the car's on. What I've also done though is, with a brand new microfiber cloth, this has been used now, so it's no longer brand new, I've gone along the surface of where the gasket goes, and I've gone away from the engine and got it all clean, because you don't want to put the gasket back on to dirty stuff, because it's not going to seal correctly. So now the engine is actually looking really good. You can see all the edges are really nice and clean. And this is what we're looking at with 85,000 miles, which I don't really like to disclose the mileage of the car on the channel, but it is looking really good. If we can focus on this stuff here, you can see the cam lobes, everything is looking really clean. Timing chain is still really tight, so really happy with how the engine is looking. Bit of a struggle getting the rocker cover on. I actually had to have two people to help me, because it's a really difficult job to actually get it on and make sure the actual gaskets themselves don't fall out. Anyway, it's all back on now, so let me show you what is next on the process. When you have gotten this far, it is really the easy part now, because all you have to do is just start putting stuff together. It's as simple as just reversing the process to what you actually started with. So all the rocker cover bolts are all fastened down they were all tight. The way you work it, in my opinion, I worked from the inside out. So I basically did the bolts in the middle, tight, not like, you know, just hand tight. Did all the bolts then, working outwards hand tight, and then I just nipped them up basically from outside, inside to out, and then that's basically it. You've got to be very careful because the head is aluminium and it's very easy to strip. And then when you've stripped one of these, you're going to have to either retap it because then it will leak. Anyway, I'm going to get cracking, doing the reverse process, getting everything back on, and I'll be back once basically all of that is done. It is now the next day, and I've now managed to put everything back that I can so far. So we've actually tightened up all of our cover gasket, everything is good. We've made sure very carefully that the rear bolts are all done because they're the ones that are most prone to leakages. Now, all the wiring harness is connected, coil plugs are all plugged in, and all the fuel system is all connected, everything's tight. Now, one thing I'd say is you want to make sure that there's no fuel leaks. This is very important. So what I advise you do is you go in the car, turn the ignition on, try to get things primed, come back out, make sure there's no leaks. If you have a friend who can stay by the car when you start it to check for any immediate leaks, that'll be even better. But anyway, I've done all that, so now let's start the car. There we go. She runs. And she runs really well. Injectors are really loud, but this is a really common thing on these without the engine cover. But there we go. No leaks, no oil dripping from anywhere. Really happy with the change. Turn this off because it's quite loud. Anyway, that's basically it for this video, guys. I'm not going to show you how to put all of the scuttle and everything back because that's a really simple job. You're just putting back everything else in the reverse order you actually took it apart. And yeah, that's basically it. What I'd advise you do is take the engine for a good couple, like a fairly long trip, come back, just check over a few of the bolts and everything like that, make sure everything is still tight, make sure there's no leaks and everything like that, and you'll be all set, ready to go. And of course, if you enjoyed the video or found it helpful in any way, then please consider giving the video a thumbs up. Leave any comments you had down below, and I'll do my best to answer them. And apart from that, thank you guys for watching this video, and I'll catch you in the next one.